Hello everyone, how's it going today? Happy Friday! Sends 500 baboons to make it work. I'm not sure if baboons are gonna help it, Bahamut. So, yeah, hopefully we will have no problems. Hopefully. So today we have a pair of Animal Crossing sets to do. KK's concert at the Plaza, and Nook's, Cranny, and Rosie's house. Which we're going to start with this one, but first, just to see if things decide to explode on me at the beginning, I thought I'd show off the London postcard, obviously without the stickers. What if the baboons work in IT? I'm pretty sure the baboons do not work in IT. So here is that big Ferris wheel whose name I forget. The Big Eye or something like that. There is Big Ben. Trafalgar Square, I think. Not sure. It's been a while since I've been to London, and I'm not as familiar with the modern landmarks. And of course, a red double-decker bus. So, a very cute little build. A very cute little build. I got a couple of the other ones as well that we will get to eventually. But before we do that, do any more building, I have a pair of polybags, Cinderella's mini garden castle, and a Venom street bike to build, just to see if things decide to poop out on us. Baboons work in project management? Exactly. Wonder if you can laser etch Lego safely? Probably. If a million monkeys with typewriters can bang out Shakespeare, then 500 IT baboons can handle this. I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. Also, I think it's an infinite number of monkeys on typewriters, not a million. Alright, so here is our instruction sheet. Had an adventure at Safeway today. I thought about going out to get some pizza, but I decided I'd wait. I didn't really want to go out. It's still kind of a mess out there. What's the first rule of Minotaur Fight Club? Don't see red. So I have not actually gotten a Cinderella hairpiece before. That's a pretty nice hairpiece. I wonder if they'll do that in any other colors or sets, or if it is considered too obvious. It is dual molded. It is slippery. Go ahead and zoom on in here. So you can see it's dual molded there. There's our Cinderella mini doll. I like the hairpiece. Nice hairpiece. There we go. Straighten it out a little bit. All it needs is square pizza. Hey, it's rectangular. It's also really delicious. I will brook no naysayers of Lido Pizza. Rectangular pizza is still pizza, and it's good pizza. Like, I've had bad pizza, and it's still pizza. Like, just ask Cressens. He can attest to bad pizza at Anime Expo. That is still pizza. Yesterday, there was a 50-vehicle pileup on the New York State Thruway about 5 miles from your house. Holy cow. That is crazy. Went to pay groceries with a $20 bill, and then the rest on a card, and the cashier made a mistake and pressed the wrong cash option. Had to go to customer service, and the manager looked at the situation and was like, here, pay one bag, and you can just go. It's stressful. I tend to make a point after many times have seen people get really pissed off at cashiers and stuff like that. I tend to just make a point of, like, being very patient. Unless they're rude. That's a difference. Ooh, streaks. Ald believes in the Night in the Woods pizza scale. I'm unfamiliar with that. You will have to explain. Oops, actually. I do want that one there. I do want that one there. Alright, we got a couple of small pumpkins here. I mean, I remember I've told the story before of the guy who stole his own car because he was so angry and taking it out on the cashier. And I'm like, yeah, I never want to be that guy. Never, ever, ever do I want to be that guy. That is not a guy that I would ever want to be. Yeah, I get that. And I wasn't saying that you were getting upset. I just was commenting, riffing on it. Like, being a cashier has got to be hard enough. Throw in rude people, and it's like, you know, they're just people. They're just doing a job. As long as they're not rude about it, you know. I mean, if they're rude, then you know, they can go to hell. Alright, so far so good. The stream has been stable, I'm happy to say. Watch that that result in terrible things happening. Worked in retail for 6 years. You're not going to be a dick to people just trying to earn a paycheck? Yeah, exactly. And especially if they're also being nice about it, like they're, you know, apologetic and stuff like that. Because again, like I said, if they're a dick, you know, that's all bets are off. Okay, how do you get... There you go. All right, got a little mousey on there. All right, so we can have Cinderella sit and spin, or stand and spin as the case may be. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this. I mean, it's nice that they put a little bit of, like, moving stuff in a little set like this. It is kind of silly. The mouse with a shirt, though, is kind of cute. Not very appropriate for a standard minifig thing, but it's still pretty cute. Alright, so there's that. Spare parts, we got 1x1 plate flowers in gold and green, 1x1 cylinder plate in orange, a pearl gem piece, and two 1x1 tile slopes in yellow and blue. Pretty sure that's Gus Gus? I don't know when the last time I watched Cinderella was. I could not tell you. Could not tell you at all. I didn't even know they had names. How am I? I'm tired of the ice. I love snow. I don't love ice, and that is what we got, and it sucks. And they have done a very poor job of removing it. I'm pretty generous about things, but they've been by only a handful of times, and the road basically looks like half plowed, and it's grating on me. Like, I know it's hard environment and stuff like that, but they should really be working at it. Wonder if Ald is secretly a white dragon given the love of snow? Definitely not. Definitely not. How about Cinderfella? I have never heard of Cinderfella. I'm not sure if you are making a joke or actually referencing something real. A lot of people are tired of the ice, and we want them removed. That too. Howdy, Sealan. How's it going? But yeah, like, there's still a good 3 feet of, like, plow burn in the street on either side of the street. Probably more than that, actually. Maybe even 4 feet on each side. Actually, more on the other side because there were people parked there. And they haven't come by to, like, push that back to the curb at all. I live on a... let's see, can I have a 1x1 here? A 1x3 would be ideal. I do not. Okay. So assume that this is, this bottom part is the yard. So there's a road here, and then there's a road that goes off it like that. So basically forming a Y. And there is a giant amount of snow and ice right there at that intersection. They haven't pushed it back to the corner, back to the curb at all. Because they haven't been by in days now. They didn't bother picking up trash and recycling on Wednesday because the roads were not great. And they haven't made any improvement on the roads, so I don't know if they're even going to come by pick stuff up on next Tuesday when they're supposed to. So it's really, really crappy. They're normally a lot better, and I mean, like, I totally get that it is a very difficult environment and stuff like that, but I don't know where the heck they are. I don't know what the heck they're doing. They sure don't seem to be trying to clear any of the stuff on the streets here. Just a bit north of you, the snowbanks I mentioned are up to about 8 feet. They're getting more. I mean, like, if it were just snow, I would actually have some decent confidence that they would be taking care of it, but I guess the fact that it's ice is just like, maybe the machines can't take care of it, the plows? I don't know. But I don't see them trying, and they definitely could try where I live. Sound like they're doing a worse job than the ones in Anchorage? Yes, I'm pretty sure they are. Like, the frustrating thing is that I actually think that Maryland is pretty good at dealing with winter weather, all things considered. Considering how, like, relatively infrequent it is. We basically never get more than one big snowstorm a year, a winter. Sometimes not even that. So they could be a lot worse. Yay, the stream lives. Indeed. Indeed. Just hope you don't get snow tomorrow. They're saying could get 3 to 5 inches. Yeah, the snow definitely seems to be passing way south of me, this latest storm. Ice is more dense. If the plow isn't big, heavy enough, they probably can't move it. Might be waiting for a front loader. And I'm sure that they are in some places, but I don't think that's a problem here because they didn't do any plowing before like during the snowstorm. It was only after everything stopped that they even started coming around. And they did get stuck in the in one part earlier, but like they have treated things, they have done some basic clearing, and we're still only talking about a couple inches, like 5 inches of snow and 2 inches of ice on top of that. Which obviously, when they've plowed part of it already, there's a little bit more going on than just that, but. On my neighborhood streets, I don't think it's a problem. Other places where they've done some, like, semi-plowing, yeah, I could see that being some issues. Okay, so we got that on there. Go ahead and make our Venom. Also part of the problem then, they let it build up too much. They did, but again, like, the nature of the stuff is that we got powdery snow, which is super easy to move, with ice on top. And it's been way below freezing all this time. There is no, like... they pre-treated the roads, so that did mean that there was some ice there. That was probably a mistake, honestly. But neither here nor there at this point. But there are some places that would be a problem, but they should be determining if that's a problem rather than assuming it's a problem, because it's definitely not a problem right in front of my house. So we got the little stud shooters. Put that in there. And fires on out. So it came with some extras. I think 2 to go in and then 2 extras. And then the actual spare parts. We got a red 1x1 cylinder plate with 4 others for the ammo. A dark gray 1x1 cylinder plate with a bar, a black 1x1 tile slope, and the dark gray trigger mechanism. Stud shooters, aka how to very quickly lose a stud. That's why they give you extras, yes. So here is the Venom bike. It's not as bad of a build as I thought it was going to be, actually. It's got some decent pieces. I do not need any more stud shooters, though. I really don't. I got plenty. Alright. Well, so far, so good. Have not had any issues. So let's go ahead and dive into Nook's, Cranny, and Rosie's house. So I have not played Animal Crossing. When these came out, and shortly before, there was a lot of talk about it being kind of a rebirth of sorts of the... oops, I forgot to close the closet right there. The Fabuland sets. There's our instruction booklets. Toss those to the ground. Got some large 8x16 double plates. Okay, there's 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 6, and 7. And put those up there. All right. But yeah, so I'd be much more sympathetic to an argument that they let it build up too much, or like that it's too difficult for them to handle right now. If they had tried more. And I do not see them having tried it very much at all. Animal Crossing came out the perfect time when everyone is at home because of lockdowns. Alright, let's see. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our minifig. I need the tail. The tail goes up. If they had tried more, it wouldn't be as much of a problem for them to deal with. Well, what I mean is, like... So, like, there's the curb, and then there's a good 4 feet here, and then you get the berm from the snowplow coming by. That berm was tough to break up with a shovel, but I'm pretty sure a big, like, actual truck, not just like a basic pickup truck, but an actual dump truck with the snowplow on front, could take care of that. I could be wrong. I'm not a truck expert, but I do think that is something that could be doable. And I'd be more sympathetic to, you know, it's too tough for them to deal with if they'd have actually tried to deal with it. That the portion, like the 3 feet in between the curb and the berm, that's a thin layer of ice. It's like ice this thick on top of snow this thick. That has not solidified into anything of significance. So here's Rosie. Got a lot of interesting head pieces. Let's go ahead and zoom in on her. A little bow. Little tail. It's definitely doable, especially if they add a wing plow, aka mailbox killer, off the side. I don't know what that is, and it wouldn't surprise me if they don't have that, but... I mean, there are people out there taking care of it. I decided not to because I don't need to, and I think that they should be plowing that. And I know that if they do come by and plow that stuff, I'm gonna have to... I'd have to clear it up again anyway, so just like, screw it, whatever. I can get my car out of my driveway. I don't need the walk cleared. But it's just, like... I don't see them having tried. It's genuinely anger-inducing. Something you wanted to mention the other day, there's a murder at the Video Drivers that you got your paws on a copy of the recently, in the last few years, released SLA Industries 2nd Edition. One has never heard of the game. I think the illicit love child of Shadowrun and Paranoia. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. I have not heard of it. Okay, there are panels for the tree here, which is interesting. Put a pic on Discord of a wing plow. I'll take a look at that. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, that's too much for that is too much for the streets. For the neighborhood streets, that's too much. I don't think they could get it through the neighborhood. All right, so we get a brown carrot top in there as a stick. What am I playing? These are tracks from various Suikoden games. I figured since I'm building a video game themed set, I'd play some video game music. I don't have any Animal Crossing music, so. Alright, so get that right on top of there. So some oranges in an orange tree. Common sight up there. Even on the side streets, unless the street is too narrow, people don't follow alternate side parking rules. Yeah, there's no alternate side parking rules here, because, again, it's just not an issue. There's some alternate side parking rules in some areas, but not this neighborhood. But, yeah, that could definitely not get through this neighborhood. Why Suikoden 4? This is not Suikoden 4. This is Suikoden 3. You hate street parkers? Well, it's that or no car for many of the houses here. Not all of them. Some houses have driveways. But, like, my neighbors across the street, they'd have to cut into a hill to get a driveway, so. Alright. Some flowers. Don't really care for the double flower bit. I have not seen Animal Crossing flowers, so I don't know how they look. I don't know if that's a close approximation or whatever. Yeah, I just would really like it if they would actually try to plow. If they can't, that's one thing. But then they would actually know. I kind of feel like they're waiting until next week to let high temperatures start melting this stuff. And it's not going to melt that fast, so. I don't know. I don't know what's up. There we go, get the base for the table. Our table itself. Cookies there. Waffle there. Mug there. Mug right there. And the teapot. For the Teapot Dome scandal. Nearby town basically had to threaten one certain street with not being covered by the fire department unless they started following alternate side parking. With cars on both sides, you can barely fit a passenger car down it. Fire trucks will have to do a lot of damage to make it to a fire. Yeah, I think the streets are wide enough here, generally, for those vehicles to get through. I have certainly never heard of an issue. That said, it does always amaze me when they get through without problems. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, I can understand that too. Like, if you got the rules, you gotta follow them. Alright, I like the color of the bike. I don't know if I have this bicycle color. Hold on, let me see if I have a picture on my phone of Lego bikes. I mean, I do. The question is just, can I find them? It's a good question of whether I can find them quickly enough. And I don't think I can. Like, just a second longer. No. I'll have to check to see if I have this color bike. I might. I know that they've been making a bunch of bike colors. It'd be that particular segment of the population in that area that walking across the street to from their car is too much effort for one day. I imagine that there's an element of, can't tell me what to do, you're not my dad, kind of thing. Alright, spare parts. We got a white 6L bar with stop, brown carrot top, trans yellow 1x1 cylinder plate, green 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, beige 1x1 cylinder tiles with waffle and cookie print, pink 1x1 plate flower, 3-stem green plant, a white teacup, and a bright pink ribbon as our extra pieces. Bag number 2. Alright, there we go. So, interesting new door frame. Don't care for the mold mark being right there. That's annoying. Okay, I actually do not have any of these pieces. 3x4 with round end and extra plate height. Similar to this, which I also do not have. 4x8. And this is a new door that came in these Animal Crossing sets to go with the door frame. Okay, so we start out with the lavender. Last year in Buffalo, there was a city plow driver that used his truck to push a car out of the way to plow a street that residents were complaining about not being plowed. Car was totally totaled and the city fired him. I would see, like, I would have to know more information to see whether that was justified. Like, there is an element of you kind of do need to make make way for, like, make space for city vehicles to get places. And it's kind of on you if you're not letting that happen. But I think that there would be a question as to whether, you know, they were given like a warning or something like that first. Okay, these go on the side. And we get 1x4 tiles back there. You always blame all. Clearly he made that truck park there. I am a blameless holy creature. Excuse me. How dare you, sir? Let's see. Okay, we do get 1x1s. It's true, yeah. I am indeed a blameless holy creature. There we go. Alright, 2, a 1, and a 4. 1x2, 1x1, and 1x4. Okay, then we get our panels here. Macaroni panels. 1x1x5 bricks. 1x2x5 right there. Alright. Gray 2x4 and 1x1s and white 1x6s. Keep waiting for Alt to make his appearance in the House of the Dragon. Why would I be associated with that? I did not like Game of Thrones, the books. I got through the second book and it was like, I don't like any of the characters. Why am I reading this? It's pretty rare for me to like none of the characters. Because usually, when you write a book, you tend to make characters likable so that people keep reading them. You know? Kind of weird. When you make a book, and none of the characters are likable. Game of Thrones Lego sets? I think that's a safe no. Crapsack World of Crapsack People, yeah. I mean, and if people like that, if people enjoy reading that, you know, whatever, enjoy it. It's good for you, I guess. I'm not going to. Are any of the Game of Thrones characters likable? Well, it's kind of what I was getting at, is like, from my perspective, no. There's the other arch. And I do know people who do love that book series. Obviously, it sells really well. But I'm good. I don't need to read it. Too bad it will never end. It's not like he needs to. Alright, so we have these clips on the door frame. The bars on the door stick out a little bit, so that it does close tightly. If you did it the other way, it would not. But you also can't do that, so. And a silver 1x1 stud. 1x1 cylinder plate. And we get the door right on there. and lock that into place. Remember how a lot of people didn't like the Harry Potter books because it had witchcraft? That's pretty standard satanic panic stuff. I don't know that that's really a thing anymore. Plenty of other reasons to not like it. Got rid of your Harry Potter stuff? Yeah, I'm not surprised. A lot of people, I'm sure, did. There we go, and a 1x1 tile over here. And 2x2 cylinder plates. Okay, and then we get a lantern out front. Okay, there we go. Although, it's a little weird because, like, the lantern being back here means that it doesn't show over here, you know? Okay. So, spare parts. 1x1 plates in gray and white. 1x1 tile in white. 1x1 tile slope in white. 1x1 cylinder plates in black and pearl silver. Well, yeah, I think that is pearl silver. There's a couple similar colors, and I'm not always sure which is which. Black 1x1 cylinder plate with bar as well. There we go. A little bit of lint there. There we go. Bag number 3. Alright, get a top for the street light. And the light post. So my favorite light posts use minifig heads and then 2x2 cylinder plates. I had a basic set, like. So it was like kind of like a creator set these days, where you got a lot of parts, you could build a lot of different things, and it had the lamp post. It had a trans yellow 2x2 cylinder brick like this, but then a 4x4 radar dish for the top. There we go, and mailbox. Glad you didn't get into it. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm very glad that I never got into it. I don't even know that I was really aware of it until the movies came out. There we go. Letter goes in there. You got a crossroads with your yeah. I also never got into him either, so I mean, there's an element of, like, if what they wrote doesn't, you know, if who they are doesn't kind of show up in their writing, I'm not, I personally wouldn't get angry at people who separate art from artist. Especially if they already own the stuff and they're not going out and buying it fresh kind of thing. I can understand a, you know, you're getting into, say, Harry Potter right now kind of thing. And, like, there have been a lot of really crappy people in media. Movies, music, writing, that kind of thing. And unless they're, like, preaching something in their writing, you know, if people are enjoying the writing, they're getting something out of it, especially if it's something that has you know, helped them through a time. Like, I can understand, you know, having an emotional connection with a book and later learning that the author was crappy, but that book helped you through a dark time in your life. Uh-oh, Farron sent a message in the wrong chat. Was easier when bad authors were already dead. Yeah, that's true too, yeah. It is a lot easier when they're already dead. Howdy, Kinshir, how's it going? Alright, so we're using a cloud piece for chimney smoke. This is why you shouldn't try to multitask? That's right. That's right. You should just concentrate on watching my videos. My streams, I should say. I guess I was off camera when I put that on. There we go. Go concentrate on potatoes. Wow, so insistent. I think we got a potato lover here. Filthy potato lover. There is also an element of, like, you know, kind of don't meet your heroes. Don't learn anything about the authors of books you like, lest they turn out to be crappy people. And that's a perfectly fair way of handling it, you know? I want some cookies. I was just thinking about that earlier today. I don't have much in the way of sweet snack food. Coworker told they had a book that would help your depression, gave you the Bible. Oh, that's no. Oof. It's hard to do. Well, I mean, there is some difficulty to it, yes. Especially if they are still alive, kind of thing, and in the news. But at the same time, like, you don't, like, you know, if you're finding, say, Isaac Asimov now, you don't need to go read up on him on Wikipedia. If you're enjoying his books. Alright, there we go. We got some roof shingles. I think there's a pretty likely element that if you go back to, you know, like, people writing in the 40s, 50s, and stuff like that, chances are you can find not great stuff about them. Because it's just kind of like the nature of the culture at the time and stuff like that. And I don't say that as, like, an excuse. It's just more of a case of, sometimes you don't need to know. you don't need to look into them. It's fine. Just enjoy the books and don't think about the author. You can find not great stuff about people now. Why do you need to research to ruin your mood more? Well, that's kind of what I'm saying, is that you don't need to look into it. I mean, there are some really interesting people out there. Let's see. Okay, so that is right there. And that goes back there to make a little roof. That's neat. It's a simple way of making a nice little roof. Yet, it's only a half roof, so there's plenty of access for your hands to get into the inside. And we have two different window frames pieces, the round top or the square top. So that's a square top. And then the round top. Which are perfectly fit the arch. So I definitely think that I will use these on some, you know, other stuff. I don't know about these. Maybe. Like, they don't open, which is unfortunate. But they're interesting. It is always interesting to have some other window options. I do like these round top ones a little bit, though. A little bit more. There we go. One by one cylinder plate. I'm guessing we're going to make a flower, yep. There we go. Get a nice flower there. What is the name of the smoke piece? I would call it a cloud half tile. I don't know what the actual name is, or like the common name. We can snooze that ad a little bit. Alright, so spare parts. One by one, half tile, half cylinder tiles in beige, and I think that's nougat. I think that's just basic nougat. It's not light nougat. One by one tile in beige, a gray one by one cylinder plate with bar, dark pink flower, and not technically extras, because you can swap them in for the windows, but dark pink square window inserts. Okay, bag number 4. The Brook 8? I don't know what that is. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, not every piece of writing needs to be a masterpiece. And it's kind of like, you know, there's nothing wrong with enjoying kind of book schlock. Alright, so inside we have a picture tile. Let's go ahead and it says bubblegum. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Bubblegum. Go ahead and snooze that one more time. And that goes on right there as a picture. Stephen King novel? Ah, okay. I've never actually read a Stephen King novel. I mean, a lot of books also don't become masterpieces, even after the author has passed away. A book can be a good read even if it's not a masterpiece. And that's really the important thing. Is it a good read for you? Alright, so there is a chair. Let's make a little table with a vase. And a potted plant. With a 5-petal pink flower on top. There we go. Okay, we're basically doing all furniture here before putting any of it inside, so... I mean, they still haven't made, like, the Dark Tower series into, books or, into movies or television shows, right? I haven't read them, but I know of them. I am aware of them. Let's see. Yes, that is going to go there. They made one Dark Tower movie. Okay. It was bad. Probably explains why we haven't gotten others. Then people decided they had not made a Dark Tower movie. So it's bad. So what you're saying is I should watch it. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Because I do like bad. Right, and then a final row down here. Get on there, please. Thank you. You can see y'all watching Dude, Where's My Car? Okay, let me rephrase. Bad science fiction and bad horror I tend to like. Bad comedy, bad comedy is usually just not funny, and the whole point of a comedy is to be funny. So basically, like, all right, so major genres of movies: science fiction, fantasy, horror, drama, comedy. Am I missing anything? Bad science fiction fantasy, it's oftentimes very enjoyable just watching, like, the poor special effects. Thriller, good point. Thriller. You get, like, bad special effects, you get bad acting, can be hilarious. Oh, yes, romance. So, bad science fiction and fantasy is oftentimes great. Similarly, horror. Bad horror tends to be great because it's just ridiculous. Hilarious, bad special effects, that kind of thing. So those two genres, when they're bad, they can be great as bad. But then you get to drama, and a bad drama is just boring. Same thing with comedy. Bad comedy means it's not funny, tends to mean it's boring. Bad romance I could see being funny because it's over the top, but I could also see it being boring. That's probably going to be one of those where it's really hit or miss. Thrillers can be, like, again, I think thrillers can be a hit or miss, where it's like, very, very much like just over the top and ridiculous on what's going on and stuff like that. So I think those two are kind of like, very iffy on whether they're going to be good or bad. But drama and comedy, generally when they're bad, they fail completely. And then science fiction and horror, those are where even the bad ones tend to be hilarious and funny and stuff like that. Remember your mom getting mad at you about spoiling that the Titanic sank while she was watching the movie? Alright, we'll go with this layout. It's kind of neat that it has different, like, layouts that you can do for the house. It shows you different ways to set it up. It's pretty cute. There's the chair. Let's get the lamp right there. And a little table right there. Raises a hand about the Titanic and lowers hand. Only the most famous shipwreck ever. Did it have a song by Gordon Lightfoot? I don't think so. Alright, so spare parts. We got 1x1 tiles in light yellow, bright pink, dark pink, no, magenta. That's magenta. And coral pink. 5 petal flowers in light pink. 3 stem plant or 3 leaf plant in bright green. 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg in white, and white ice cream poop piece. That was Gordon Lightfoot, Edmund Fitzgerald. Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Great song, too. Alright, so here we have our little house. Does it show... Okay, and it just shows how to connect them. I do kind of like how they've done this, where, like, you get all these connector pieces so you can make your town any way you want just by putting the connector pieces in. It's a really cute way of doing it, I think. Go ahead and put the bike right here. And she could be coming out of the house. There we go. Put that back there. We do have an ad just about to start. Get on to the second booklet in the second building. If you recall correctly, didn't the producers for the Edmund Fitzgerald want to fiddle with the song or stop it entirely? The producers for the Edmund Fitzgerald? There was one line that he changed because the families of the crew who died didn't like the message it sent. It wasn't a huge thing. It wasn't like deeply offensive, but he very much changed it. I think it was just like it described something that wouldn't have happened or something like that. Actually, let's go ahead and get these over here. Well, it's not the best song. There's lots and lots of better songs. But there's also a gigantic number of much, much worse songs. It's a good song. Alright, let's do Tom Nook. He's got those... that tail. And there we go. There's Tom Nook. He does have a little little hole in the top of his head for an accessory. Let's go ahead and zoom in on him. There we go. He looks very sleepy. You recognize this track? How's it going, Mad Rhapsody? Right, there we go. Get him right there. Oh, actually, no. It does give him an accessory. It does give him a little birthday hat. There we go. He's got a little birthday hat. 10 stream streak. Nice. Yep. Door goes over there. What's up? Just chatting away. Have not had a driver crash, so that's great. Now I've just probably cursed myself, but you know, it's gonna happen. All right, then we get the 8x16 double plate. Get that on the end. 2 tiles. I believe this is medium nougat here. Someone was crazy generous to you on Halloween's stream and gave you a whole year of subs? Wow. That's pretty impressive. Speaking of sleepy, you'd best get to bed. All right. Need to support manufacturing tomorrow AM before the game. Oof. All right. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much for coming on out. Yeah, we got the Suikoden music playing because it's video game music, and this is video game set. Don't question it. This is just how we roll here. Alright. Lobe up this thing. So many lobes. It's like a Ferengi. Famous Animal Crossing RPG. Would Tom Nook be the final boss? Not enough squirrel people. How come LEGO has not made a Squirrel Girl minifig yet, huh? Actually, I shouldn't say that. They may have. I don't pay that much attention. But they certainly haven't made one that I'm aware of. They should definitely make one in the next Marvel collectible minifig series they do. Plus all of the characters from the Marvel Netflix TV shows. Just wanted Jessica Jones. Had an ad about doing taxes. Now it makes sense. Ald uses them as tax credits. Lego. It's true. I do. This is part of my livelihood. I am reviewing these things. I get to deduct the purchases on my taxes. You fight him like 5 times through the game? Well, yeah, I mean, he can be both a final boss and a mid-boss, too. Delaying story in FF6 again for Gal Rages? Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. You gotta get them Rages that you're never gonna use. Speaking of, I need to get all my my stuff together. We're closing in on tax time. I did buy a lot of computer equipment this year. There we go. And more panels for Windows. You have all the elements that matter. Fire, thunder, ice, poison, and now water, wind. Ah, but do you have the elements that don't matter? Like pizza. Do you have a rage that can do a pizza elemental attack? That's the big question. Don't you have to do quarterly stuff, tax stuff as sole proprietor? No, not really. Pardon me, sorry, I sneezed. And the reason is because I'm getting, like, most of my pay is coming in through royalties as opposed to, like, sole proprietorship type stuff. It just means that if I owe anything, like, I owe a lot at the end. Like, there's no native deductions on my stuff. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. It is the time of year when I'm very congested in general. Plus, I had that cold earlier. There we go. All right, and white 1x4s. How often is Demi and Gravity actually useful, you know? I very rarely use it. Not many enemies are actually vulnerable to it. Or vulnerable and thus, and it's worthwhile casting. Where you do a significant amount of damage with it. Okay. So, spare parts. Beige 1x1 tile slope. Is that just dark gray? Yeah, just dark gray 1x1 cylinder tile and a gold birthday hat. That's our spare parts. Bag number 6. Alright, first of all, put these aside. We got some little festive bunting here. Now yellow. Medium azure. Like, it really only works well on high hit point enemies, and that assumes that you're not doing more damage. Which basically means bosses, and most bosses are immune. Okay, a dark pink again. Another medium azure. There's medium azure. I don't think there's light azure. I don't think LEGO has made light azure. The fact that they have medium azure does make me think that there is a formula for it, and they just haven't, like, made it into parts yet. Okay, there we go. Get that in there. Okay, 2 of these. Orange and a bright orange. No Rage does Demi? Interesting. Maybe they just named it Medium Azure to mess with people? I mean, considering that it's not the easiest thing to discover the colors, names of LEGO colors, it's a little bit easier these days with online Pick-a-Brick, but... Like, it's not like LEGO lists it in their instruction booklets. So if you're a kid, you're not finding this out unless you look online. I like the little awning look to that. That's really nice. Looked up at their ages and what they do, was getting tired of searching for it. Did a Control F for Demi and got 0 out of 0 results. Interesting. Kind of surprised, actually. But I suppose not every spell gets a rage. Like, you're not going to have... I don't think you have anyone who does scan, for example. Because that would be... That would be extremely trollish. It would be nice if there was a way to, like, get out of... get out of the rage without killing him, though. Okay. Get these awnings above the windows. I like those. Those are really nice looking. You would laugh if there was a rage for scan? There should be. There should be. I mean, if there's one for Exploder, you know? There should totally be one for, with Scan. I mean, Exploder does do a lot of damage, and it is going to knock him out of Rage, and you could have a re-raise item on him. But still. Why would you? Why would you do that? There we go. Flip it over, get the white shields on. White 2x4 there. Get those two on there. And then the sign. There we go. There we go. Got our roof on the store. Alright, spare parts. We've got a white 1x2 half cylinder and 1x1 quarter cylinders in medium azure, lime green, yellow, and dark pink, as well as 1x1 tiles with round ends in orange and bright orange. And bag number 7. Also, Anguiform with Aqua Rake or whatever is called. Well, some of the... I mean, I think some of those are there so that Strago can learn them if you get the Rage, but you didn't have them with you when you encountered the enemy, or you know, just want to learn it that way. Obviously, like... If you're playing the game blind, you don't know when, you know, what is a learnable thing. That is interesting, Lord Canis. I have not heard of that. Hope you stop sneezing soon. Okay. First step. Yellow bag with a brown star. Oh boy. I finished the step. I built it. Got a nice little notepad, like a signboard. That's pretty cool. Pretty adorable. Doesn't last longer than 3 sneezes? Well, I'm glad it doesn't last long. Okay, and then this goes on the front there. There we go. Gasp, it lied. Alright, I'm gonna get a carrot in here. And we have a lid, I assume. Interesting that it's giving printed pieces rather than stickers. I was really expecting stickers. And that one goes right there. I don't know if that's a trash bin or what. Okay, turn it around, get a flower back here. To foil my anti-sticker ways? How dare they? How dare they? Ever heard of a fiend worm? No. Second edition monsters rarely had that kind of name construction. I assume it's a dragon, right? Okay, a worm like an actual segmented nematode. Purple worm type thing. A 40-foot worm with a portal to the abyss. No, that is definitely not. Is definitely not a second edition thing. I do not think that would have been. That might have shown up in a Dragon magazine. That would not have shown up in a like an adventure or something like that, or a monster manual, monsters compendium kind of thing. All right, so there's a bucket there in the window. We have a dark pink guitar. The word eventually came to me. So, it's not a fixed thing, but that kind of, like, fiend worm, there would have been a space in between the first and second part. I would put money on in a second if it was a second edition monster. Because that would be treated as like an adjective rather than a compound name. Or it would have, you know, like an actual non-compound name. Alright, so a little radio here. We got a brown cabinet and a single white drawer. Yellow 1x1 cylinder plate with a star on it. I assume that's like the money or something of Animal Crossing. And we have a keypad with like a credit card slot for a cash register. And that goes right there. And another flower in a pot. There we go. Okay, barrel back here. And a shovel and a broom. Alright, and then let's get the refrigerated cabinet. With a gray 1x1 cylinder plate for a doorknob. Did I miss something back there? No, I did not. Alright. Okay. White 1x1 brick with a fish print on it. White 1x1 brick with flower prints. These are pretty nice pieces, actually. I like getting these as prints. And then a 1x2 tile with an acorn print. That goes... Let's go ahead and zoom in on these. So those are kind of nice prints. I like those. And here's the acorn. How do LEGO minifigs even grab that knob? Well, the idea is that the hands are not fixed in shape. You can go watch something like Ninjago or Lego Friends or Monkey Kid. All right, we've got a watering can with a flower growing in it. That right on there. Okay, so spare parts. Red 1x1 cylinder tile, yellow 1x1 cylinder tile with star print, 7 petal flowers in red and bright orange, 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud in brown, 1x1 cylinder plate in gray, dark gray bucket handle, and a gray base black lever. There we go. And we'll go ahead and put the bag up top there. Get you working the cash register. You'll sneeze. Ah, sorry about that. Had another sneeze come on. Alright, so we can put these together. Get that there. That can go off to the side. This one, oh. Let's go ahead and get this on that side. There we go. So we got a nice little kind of straight street environment here with the houses. Go ahead and separate them a little bit. Nice little you know, outdoor patio with an umbrella. The houses are cute. I do like that. I like that the minifigs for Animal Crossing are, with the exception of the head, standard minifigs. They actually have medium legs as well. And we have Tom Nook's shop here. There goes that. I knew that would go one of these days. Alright, Kinshir, don't freeze. And there's the inside. I do like getting another one of these. It's very nice. The printing on some of these pieces is pretty good too. Have not had a yellow bag before. So that's nice as well. I really do like this part. Like, that print is really nice. The little signboard. So that's very cute. Alright, let's go ahead and do KK's concert at the Plaza. Customizable. I do like that they make the sets customizable. That is a very nice element of these. Okay, that is everything. There's an instruction booklet. Okay, another nougat double plate. There's one. 5, 4, 6, 3, 2. All right. Put those to the side. Get that out, and we'll go to the other instruction booklet. Okay, we've got an 8x8 and a 6x6 rounded corner piece. We've got another umbrella. Yeah, that does sound cold, Kinshir. It does sound very cold. It's not quite that bad here. It's 10 degrees. Which is very cold. And I need to blow my nose again. Oh, sure, give him the Cloak of Warmth, but not me. Rude. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and start with her, I assume. I do not know who this character is. But we do have the new, new-ish. It was new last year. I guess she's probably a fox. Where's her legs? There's her legs. Where's Kiko when we need him? Exactly. There we go. And she has trans purple sunglasses as an accessory to go on top of her head. There we go. Clearly a hippo, huh? Yeah, you might want to get your eyes checked, my friend. I like the spikiness there. That's kind of nice. Interesting shirt as well. It's pineapples. How do we all do it? It's 70F where you live in San Diego when it's 45 or below. It's cold. Well, for one thing, we don't go outside. Some of us do. So you bundle up. It kind of depends on what you need to do. If you need to like go out for an extended period of time, things like long underwear help. Layers also help. If it's just like a short thing, like you're going to go out to the car, just, you know, a coat, gloves maybe. And it really depends on if there's wind or not. Like, wind is the worst part. Like, they'll say, you know, with wind chill, -20 with wind chill or something like that. It's very different. Like, -20 with no wind, very different from -10 with a to -20 wind chill. But if you're going to be out shoveling, I mean, you're gonna be moving, you're going to be generating a lot of internal heat. You might even want to doff some layers because you're sweating and stuff like that. Don't get wet. Yes, that is important. Because the wet will just leach the heat out from you. Unless it's sweat. I mean, if it like sweat is different because it's on the inside. Doff Ald has had too much D&D. What do you mean? It's a normal word. Also, -20 with dry climate is different from -20 with wet climate. It's only dry here. I don't know what what it would feel like if it was high moisture, high humidity. All right, so we got two ice cream poop pieces, one in white, one in brown. Get our waffle there next to it, and a cookie on the other side. Get that there. Like, it is incredibly dry here. First saw Doff and Dawn in original Rogue on the Tandy color computer. It's normal English, man. Ice cream right next to the hot kettle. Yeah, exactly. Make it nice and soft. See, that way it's soft serve. I'm sorry. You also very much get used to weather. I'm very much the type that will go out in, like, if I'm not going to be out for very long kind of thing or something like that, I'll just go out in a flannel. Doesn't matter if it's 10 degrees. And if it's like 50 or 40, that's nothing. Depending on if there's wind. Again, wind makes everything worse in that situation. There is... Oh, I screwed up. I used the wrong 2x2 cylinder plate here. You don't think I am? Well, too bad. I said I am, so you have to accept it. You have to accept my apology. Them's the rules. I said sorry, not sorry, not sorry. That's how you know. That's how you know I truly am sorry. Alright, brown 1x1 cylinder plate, pink 1x1 plate flour, and some cherries. A little bit of pastry there. A pair of teacups. An ice cream poop piece in brown. Get that right on there. And then the umbrella on top of the table. There we go. Alright. Got a cafe logo there. And that goes right there. It's got a nice little sign there. Why are they poop instead of ice cream? It's an ice cream poop piece. It can be either ice cream or poop. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. It could also be whipped cream, but that's too many syllables. After you've already said ice cream and poop. The required words. Since that is what it is. Like I said, I don't make the rules. Well, it wouldn't be that. All right, we get another stick in the tree. There we go. And then we get some leaves on the tree. I really like this red-orange piece color. Oops. Accidentally let that fall. There we go. Get that right there. Okay. So the nice thing about these mugs is that you can put like the ice cream piece in, so you can have a mug of ice cream. All right, so spare parts. We got a teacup, a white and a brown ice cream poop piece, 1x1 cylinder tile in dark pink, 1x1 cylinder tiles in beige with a waffle and a cookie print, 1x1 tiles with round ends in lime green and bright yellow, 1x1 plate flower in bright pink, brown 1x1 cylinder plate, a brown carrot top, 2 trans purple Friends accessory sunglasses, and a red cherry. Should have gotten a milkshake while out. Didn't. Now you regret everything. Yeah, that's gonna happen if you don't get a milkshake. My milkshake brings all the viewers to the stream. She became famous for playing Animal Crossing New Leaf for over 3,500 hours. Wow. Good on her. Alright, no tail for this guy, who I assume is KK. Oh, it's because he's got a light tail print on the back. There's nothing else, no other identifying marks on him. Just plain white. And he's got a guitar. Immortalize it for the ages. Well, you gotta make a song about it now, Kinshir. Call up Gordon Lightfoot. See what he can do. Sir, I have an idea for a great song. Something to rival the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Bahamut suffers without a milkshake. He might be dead. We can just speak with dead. It's fine. Alright, a bench there. And another bench here. Alright, a microphone stand. A gray plate flower. 3L bar. Bar holder with clip. And a microphone. A song called Bahamut Suffers Without a Milkshake could be a great country song. Oh, I had no milkshake. It was terrible. Whatever was I gonna do without a milkshake? Oh, please, won't someone get me a milkshake? Then we have, I assume, an album cover here. Then it gets a remix as a rock and roll or metal song. Alright, and then there's a vehicle to make here. I hear you starting to slide bags. Don't you do that. You stay where I put you. Kind of surprised that they are not using a tile there. They usually do. Oh, I had no milkshake. What a terrible thing. All my friends had milkshakes, but I didn't. #1 hit right there. Bahamut had no milkshake. Someone hurry up and write it. Copyright it. Trademark it. All the things it. Heavy metal band you found a few days ago. Do they have a song called "I Have No Milkshake"? If not, what is even the point? Alright, pair of 1x6s now. They've done several songs about historic events. Never was much of one for metal myself. Okay, get some tiles on here. Or, you know, drop them. That works too. Just drop them as you do. I think this might be a bed back here. That definitely looks like a Lego bed. Well, considering that the steering wheel is going to be right here, maybe not. I may be wrong. You like anything with a nice rhythm in the music? I like melody myself. Oops. 1x4 tile there, and then the steering wheel. There we go. Two by 6 right across there. Okay, so we get the headlights on here. One by 2 grill. Pair of gray 1x2 tiles. I assume this would be the bumper. And then what I assume is maybe it's supposed to be the license plate. Not sure if that's supposed to be the license plate or something else. Maybe a bumper sticker, except it's on the front. And then on the back, there is no extra trans red. I'll have to check to see if maybe it fell on the floor or something, because usually there is an extra trans red cylinder tile. There's the tail lights. Alright, so spare parts. Black 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. Black microphone with a silver end. A gray and black lever. Gray 1x1 plate flower. Black 3L bar. Trans yellow 1x1 cylinder tile. And a gray 1x1 cylinder, gray 1x1 tile with a gauge print. And a piece just decided to fall on the floor. I will have to look for that later. Do not know where that went. Okay, bag number 3. I don't know a whole lot about Animal Crossing, but I was when I saw this set for the first time, I was kind of surprised that there was a car. I kind of got the impression that the island was not exactly a drivable location. Okay, for the front. No, it has 2 taillights. It just didn't get an extra 1x1 cylinder plate. Cylinder tile. It's possible it will be in a different bag. Okay, and then we have a 3x6x2 windshield. A steeper angle than the old 2x4 or 2x6x2. Where's the black 1x6? There it is. I assume this is going to be the back of the truck. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's going to swing open. Got it. All right. I see. There's a 2x2x2 slope, 1x2x2 slope there as well. One by 4 panel with 3 musical notes on it. 1x4x2. And then we get another 3x3 corner plate on the top. And a plate hinge. Oh, alright, my surprise. I was not expecting that stuff on on the Animal Crossing island. Like I said, never played it before. Oops. Ah, okay. I was like, not seeing a 1x3 brick. I was like, wait, I should check to see if that is actually what we put there, and it is not. 1x3 plates, and a 1x2 with clip. Go ahead and snooze that ad for a little bit. Okay, another panel with musical notes. And another hinge. Okay, 1x3 tile, 1x4 half tile. All right, so you can open up the back just like that. A tile, 1x3 tile, and a pair of grill tiles. And then for the side view mirrors, it has gray popsicles, which is great to get. These are great pieces. Getting them in more colors is fantastic. What color, what flavor would gray be for popsicles? That is a good question, though. And we have a tray with a cup, a mug, and a slice of pizza. Delicious pizza. It's not rectangular, though. There we go. I'm gonna fire all of you. Dragon fruit's probably grayish. It is a bit grayish. Everyone who mentioned pickles getting fired. It's terrible. Ash flavored ice cream. I don't know that that's a flavor that would sell well. Pickles are definitely not great. That's true. That is true. All the more reason to fire. It would taste like Ash Ketchum? They put them in a blender? Wow. I'm surprised. Well, Wallace and Gromit would probably love the cheese-flavored ice cream. Cheese, Gromit. Cheesecake ice cream is good, yes. That is true. That is true. Here, 1x4s. 1x6 plate. You've never watched Wallace and Gromit? Well, I highly recommend it. They are adorable and funny. I was very sad that the latest one my father was not able to see. He would have very much enjoyed it. Right, there we go. And 1x6 tile there. 1x6 tile here. Why couldn't he see it? Because he's dead. Makes it a little hard to watch things. And there's the top. And there we go. Put that right on top there. Alright, spare parts. White 1x1 plate and beige 1x1 quarter cylinder tile with a pizza print. Pizza print. I appreciate it. It was a number of years ago now. Alright, so it opens up to get into the camper van. This has a lid to put the equipment in, I assume. There we go. It's a very chunky van. It's a very chunky van. No, you hide bodies under the floor. I worked at a place many, many years ago with some people who were a few years older than me. And we had a running joke about a weird guy who worked proximally to us. We didn't work with him. He did not work with us. He just worked near us. And we worked in a room with raised floors for wiring and stuff like that. We joked that I don't know why we did, but we joked that he had he buried bodies under the raised floor. All right, there we go. Go ahead and zoom in on her. It's a very adorable minifig there. If you put them under the floor, then they start heart beating at you, and you confess to the police without them even asking? They start heart beating at you, huh? Where's our pal Doom guy? He's busy looking for his rabbit. No, not hunting. He's looking for his pet rabbit. Alright, 2x4s. Giving imps PTSD. Being able to see their creamy nougat centering. That was a running joke with a friend of mine and I when you'd kill an imp with a rocket launcher, you got to see their creamy nougat centering. Alright. Dark orange, 1x1 tile slope, right there. I think it's neither. Got some dark orange bricks. Over there, and then a pair here. White 1x2, white 1x3, they aren't filled like a whatchamacallit. I've never actually had one of those. It was mainly just a joke because the corpse that they leave with a rocket launcher is different than if you just shoot them. And that amused us. Because we were, you know, immature young people. I've played FPSs. I've played FPSs a lot. I'm just not good at them, and why would I do that for a Let's Play? I most enjoyed them when I had the cheat codes turned on. The Charleston Chew. I love like standing in the aisle at the grocery store and just like looking at the candy and being like, who the heck even buys these? All right, 6 1x5 plates, neat. All right, 1x1x5s and 1x1 cylinder plates and 1x1 cylinder tile. That goes right there. Now you want some bubble yum? I don't even know if I remember. I think one of the Warcraft games had There Can Be Only One as God mode. Trying to remember what else. What else do I remember? I don't really remember many of those. The one that has stuck with me for sure is for Serpent Isle. If you do Serpent Manimal at the DOS prompt, that gets you into the cheat mode for that. I think Ultima 7 was Ultima 7 ABCD Alt 255. But I'm not positive. I know the Alt 255 at the end. That's what taught me alt codes. And then I taught a friend of mine at school when we were in computer class, and we were terrible. Occasionally people would leave their, other kids would leave their work discs with their, stuff that they were working on for computer class there. So we'd go and move documents into folders with alt code names. And this is all DOS. So to get into those folders, you'd either have to take it to a computer that has like Windows or DOS shell, or you had to know how to make the alt code characters. We were terrible. There we go. I like the round window part on top of the regular window. Yeah, it kind of was, wasn't it? And they shouldn't have left their computer disks in class. To be clear, we couldn't do it either. Because we would just like randomly type in characters on the numeric keypad. There we go. Yeah, it wasn't extremely evil. It was extremely funny, though. You and a friend would steal the balls from the mice in computer class. Occasionally, when we'd have a situation where like the you've got the tables here, and you've got the computers facing out so that people are facing each other across the table. We would swap keyboard cables so that our computer would be, our keyboard cable would be going to the computer across the way and then start typing. Oh, right, the mice had a ball long ago. Oh, God. Thank you for causing me to die, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Just let me crumble away to dust here, why don't you? I'm so old that mice with that optical mice are new to me. Oh, I'm so old. Don't you dare bring trackballs into this. How dare you? You sicko. Sick freak. I know, but you didn't have to kill me with that. You didn't have to slay me. Meanie. So I'm not sure why these don't have studs on the top. Seems weird, but whatever. Alright, so spare parts. 1x1 tile in white, 1x1 cylinder tile in white, 1x1 cylinder plate in white. Dark orange 1x1 tile slope, gold 1x1 cylinder tile with bar, and a bright orange ribbon. You're up there with me as well. Yeah, but you didn't have to bring it up. It didn't have to make me feel old. I mean, the 90s were only like, a decade ago. In a whole year before you realized that you weren't 40, like you were telling people but 41. Right, yeah. You didn't realize. That's yeah, totally believe you. This is not the oh hey, you printed the save icon. Took you to at least 2010 to stop thinking that 1990 was 10 years ago. Yeah, that realization I had a little while ago of, oh, the music that I made fun of my mother for listening to was as old as the music that I'm listening to now is for me. Oh, I'm so old. Alright, there we go. Got those two, and then... Oh! More 2x2s. A lot of purple 2x2 tiles. Very nice. I like that. Lovely shade. Lovely plumage. Norwegian blue. Remember your dad trying to set the VCR and asking why the movie was 12 hours long? He was looking at the clock. I was always very good at setting the VCR time. There are multiple times that I did that at someone's house, too. Where I was like, I'm annoyed at you having not set the time on your VCR, and I'm just going to do it for you. Okay, there we go. GOG lets you buy games. It doesn't let you play games on its website. I believe archive.org has some games that you can play. Actually, I don't know if it's going there. I have not, like, looked into that in depth. Because I got DOSBox. I can just load it into DOSBox and run it through there. Plus, I have good Roland audio emulation. GOG does have a Steam-style desktop app, yeah. But again, it doesn't let you play online. Play online, my lord? Okay, and let's get the clock on. That is a new clock print, which is nice. Need a PS2 emulator and a ROM of Xeonic Front. It's called an ISO. ISO. Also, what you really, really need, what you really, truly need, is Federation versus Xeon. Hey, I'm only responsible for actual games, like, that I've played. I'm not playing Animal Crossing, I'm just building Lego. Ergo, it's not my fault. There we go. And there we go. And that goes right there. Alright, there we go. Nice little, public building. Alright, white 1x1 tile slope as extra. And then bag number 6 for the stuff inside. Looks like a schoolhouse. Kinda, yeah. I mean, it is a public building. That is a public building. Had the itch lately to try Animal Crossing Horizons again. Bought it, just couldn't get into it because it felt like you were doing the same stuff all over again. I get that. Yeah, if a game isn't, like, doesn't feel like it brings a lot new to the table, it can definitely feel like just treading water. Alright, lots of 1x1 bricks in green. There we go. And then we have a note board right there. 3 more 1x1s. Okay, and a 1x6 plate. And a little bright yellow birdie sitting on top. There we go. Okay, a single flower. That goes right there. A yellow 3x4 container. Okay, a regular Technic half pin and a gauge right there, so that it can spin. You can turn it. I assume that's the point. And a classic cassette pattern. They actually have a newer video cassette, but this I think might be working as a tape as well, like a cassette tape, as opposed to video cassette. They do have a VHS style 1x2 tile. There we go. I'm assuming this is for like volume. We got like basically a boombox there, I think. That goes right in there. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what these are. Gave Gao 2 earrings, laughed because his rages do so much damage when casting spells. Yeah, I know, I love doing that. They might be speakers. Let's see if we put anything on them. Does not appear that we're putting anything on them. Okay, and there's the leaf print there. What I remember about Betamax was that when I was very, very young, we had a local video rental place, and I wanted to rent Raise the Titanic, the movie Raise the Titanic, because I was obsessed with the Titanic at the time. But it was only available on Betamax. And I was very disappointed. That's what I remember about Betamax. Yeah, this was before it was discovered. So it's like it still had it completely intact in one piece, even though it was actually well known that it broke up when it sank. But popular imagination still had it in one piece. Basically, like there was something secret aboard, and some people wanted it, so they created a we're gonna raise the Titanic as a important thing, blah, 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 something like that. I couldn't have watched James Cameron's Titanic because it wasn't out yet. I saw that in the theaters. Alright, so you can either put on either flag that you want. I will go with the green one because green. That gets right on there. Yeah, so Beta's advantage was that it did have higher quality than VHS, but its length was pretty significantly less. There were a number, like I don't think there were any movies at the time, like major movies, beyond like maybe one or two, if even that, that would not fit on an early VHS cassette tape. But there were a number of prominent movies that would have needed to be split on beta, on early beta. If I remember correctly. Okay, I assume that's like a lost and found container. That goes right there. One you remember on 2 VHSs was Fiddler on the Roof? I didn't think that was that long. I mean, by the time Braveheart came out, I'm pretty sure they had VHS cassettes that could do that length. So if they were putting that, maybe they had like bonus features or something? I don't know. You remember having a 2 VHS set for it? Do you remember like watching it and having to swap cassettes to finish the movie? Huh. I don't know. I do not remember ever needing to do that, but we may just not have gotten movies that needed that. Definitely didn't own any. I don't remember renting any that were like that either. Okay, so that looks like that's it. This has not been used. What are you... Oh, I see. Okay. They are specifically giving you the crowbar so you can lift up the tiles. Okay. So that's not technically an extra piece. Extra pieces, gray 1x1 tile slope, 1x1 quarter cylinder tiles in orange, bright yellow, green, and dark lavender, or medium lavender. Yeah, medium lavender. Bright orange 5-petal flowers, green 1x1 plate flower, bright green actually. And actually, that's bright green as well, I believe. Bright green, 3-petal, 3-leaf plant. Gray Technic half pin. Beige 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. And a gray 1x1 cylinder tile with gauge print. Alright, so let's see. Had to sneeze again. Alright, so let's go ahead and get our minifigs on here. You can be watching. We have a little cafe booth. The what I assume is a town hall. We got our concert out front. There's the interior. What I assume is a boombox, but I'm not sure. In the crate out front, a flag. Alternate flag. So these are very cute sets. They're not, like, complex, which is, you know, I mean, I knew that, and I was expecting that and stuff like that, but they're very cute. I do like them. We have the little van as well. And then, of course, as a look back, Tom Nook's store. Dropping the flower again. And Rosie's house. They're very cute sets. Oh yeah, they're kid sets. They're 7+. And I knew they would be. It's one of the reasons why I haven't gotten too many of them, because they're for one thing, like, actually the minifigs I don't have a big use for, but there's some good pieces in them. I really do like getting these new window pieces, a few of them. You know, gonna figure out some stuff to do with them eventually. I especially like the arched window ones. I think these ones are really nice. So, pretty neat. Pretty neat. Good selection of colors. Got lots of bright orange right here, and lots of orange bricks here. And here. So that's nice. Alright, go ahead and move these to the side, because it is time for us to do some minifigs. Didn't take quite as long as I thought it might to build those. But I did also kind of expect it like might go fairly quick, like end up going a little bit shorter than normal. But part of it was like I wanted to make sure that I could actually get the stream going. I wasn't sure, like I still don't know why I had those problems before. I did make some tweaks to the computer, but nothing major. Like there weren't any updates or anything, so I have no idea why I had the problems that I did. But we didn't have any problems tonight, which is good. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some minifigs. Alright, D6 here. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Alright, so that first column, 2. Alright. So let's go ahead and start our prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? The only one that we have not gotten is number 11. We've gotten everything else. Let's go ahead and roll our beautiful bean footage D20. 3. Alright, so that is the unicorn person. So go ahead and get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Alright, so Bahamut and Nadarogai both going for 9, which is the Carpenter. We have gotten... I think we've gotten at least 5 of him. There might be one more, but I don't think there's many more of him, so... Come on, Pepper Girl. You can definitely have enough Pepper Girl. I did get my new minifigs in. I need to get the weights going on all of them. Generate a sheet so that we can do the weights accurately with those. A Minotaur Villager Blacksmithing and a Leonin Court Jester. Alright, 20 seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Just a few seconds remaining. Let me get my timer all ready. And there we go. Alright, all ready. So get your predictions in, because predictions are closed. Alright. And go. Alright, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Legs. It's a torso. That is... What is that? Okay. 1811. I believe that we have a Cthulhu alien. I believe we have a Cthulhu alien. Let's see if that is correct. That is indeed correct. All right. So with 1811, let's choose the outcome. Within 20 seconds, complete that prediction. And who is getting the hams? Alright, Mike and Stabby getting all the hams. Very nice. Kinshir and Lord Canis going for 20 to 50. No one going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut going for no. Alright, let's go ahead and put our Cthulhu alien together. I don't think they've had this particular head before. Space Police 3 had a bunch of different alien heads. So it is possible, like, it that showed up there, but I don't think so. Alright, there's our Cthulhu alien with his blaster. We have gotten him before. That is our third one. There we go. Next up is Series 10. It's possible it'll be Mr. Gold. It is possible. Extraordinarily unlikely. D6, so that is a 3. So we're going into the middle. And 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Let's start our prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack. Get your predictions in. Let's go ahead and roll our D20. 14. Alright, that is a social media influencer. Did they ever do a Lovecraft set? No, and they won't. Not, like, licensed. 7 for Bahamut. That would be the B-girl. 13 for Nadaroge Eye. That would be the catcher, baseball catcher. So get your predictions in. Let me go ahead and reset my timer. So it's all ready. All right, about a minute to go. Get your predictions in. Not a lot of Lovecraft would fit minifigs, no. It's also not kids stuff. Like, the closest you're going to get is stuff like this. Like, you know, it's kind of Cthulhuoid in form and stuff like that. Minotaur Scuba Diver Tar and a Leonin Marine Biologist. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside? Oops, I actually had 14. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. About 30 seconds to go. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? No, I never did. Oh, a fun side note that I think might be of interest to you, Nadaroge Eye. I believe they're coming out with a new Maersk set, so that could mean more Maersk Blue. You know who wants more Maersk Blue? This guy. I missed out on the train. I'm sad that I missed out on the train. Alright, predictions are closed. Let's go ahead and go. Alright, let's see. What do we got? That's a head. Can I feel something else? Trying to feel something else. Alright, yep, there we go. Alright, 44.7, I believe we have the old guy. We have the grandpa. Let's see if that is the case. Oh my god, it's Mr. Gold! No, it's not. Yep, alright, it is the old guy. Alright, so, 44.7. Let's choose the outcome. That is 20 to 50. Complete that prediction. Who is getting all of the hams? Well, I am getting all the hams. Nom 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 nom. Oh, delicious hams. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Delicious, delicious hams. All 3,000 of them right into my belly. Let's see. Mike and Stabby and Kinshi are going for within 20 seconds. No one also going for 50 to 60, and Bahamut going for no. Gotta get some more people in here. Trying for these hams. Otherwise, I'm going to start getting all the hams. How many hams do I cook in a year? All of the hams. All of the hams that I eat, I cook in the year. Or someone has cooked. It's the old times. Oh, that's adorable. Alright, so let's go ahead and zoom in on this guy. So he's got a bit of a comb over there. The Old Times newspaper. I love that. Here's his torso. With back printing as well, which is great. I love that. It's a good torso. Alright. We got our grandpa. Let's go ahead and mark him down so we don't forget. There we go. Alright. Now, for the final minifig for the day, we have not gotten 1, 2, and 11. Those are the ones that are left. So we will be done at the end of next week. We'll be done at the end of next week. Alright, there we go. Okay, let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get your predictions in. I will weigh it. Well, first I will guess. I'll shake it and make a guess. I will roll a d12. And then I will weigh it. And if none of those are correct, that's a no. However, there are only 3 left, so keep that in mind. Get your predictions in. All right, Bahamut and Nadarogai both going for a web slinger, number 11. All right. So it's 1, 2, and 11 are left. Those are the only ones left. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? And what will it be? Make your guess. Got about a minute to go. Get your predictions in. Minotaur Lego Maker and a Leonin gameplay tester. Yay, QA. An important and underrated position. Alright, 50 seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Will I be correct? Those were a thing you got paid for? Yeah, I mean, they still exist, too. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? You're just in at the end, unfortunately, Shield of Hope. We are wrapping things up. But you have a few seconds remaining to get a prediction in. I'm sorry, Shield of Hope. Didn't have quite as much to build because I wanted to make sure that everything worked. Luckily it did. Nothing crapped out on me. I do not know what happened before. Alright, predictions are closed. Oh yeah, I should also get up my scanner. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, scanner's ready. Alright, so first of all... Yep, alright, my guess is Web Slinger. I think I hear a box, and that cape should be the thing. Let's roll the die. 11. I'm going to re-roll because it can't be the same thing, or it shouldn't be the same thing. 12. Already got that. 8. Already have that. 4. 3. 2. Alright, there we go. So that's 2. And the scale. 21.52. Well, that would definitely be a web slinger, so we will go with that. The die has to be something different, though. Alright, so let's scan it. That is Patrick O'Hara, web slinger. Alright. So my guess was correct. Let's get this open and take a look. And that is correct. Alright. So let's choose the outcome. That is yes with guess. Complete that prediction. Alright, let's see. Who's getting the hams? Alright, Mike and Stabby getting all the hams. Kinshi are going for yes with die roll. No one going for yes with weight. And Bahamut going for no. Missing out on some potential hams there. People not going for the other one. Alright, so we got a little over-the-shoulder capelet thing. And he has a bandit's mask. Over his standard Spider-Man face. And a lasso. And his hat. And his spider horse. Don't question it. So we got an extra red bandit mask here. I like the old classic one. How could he even make a Spider-Man mask in the Old West? Oh, he might not actually be Old West. I don't know. He may just like the aesthetic. Got some back printing on the torso. I do kind of wish the horse did not have the Spider-Man print, because that definitely limits the usefulness of the horse, the pony. But he is adorable. The shirt and the pants, though, like those are super duper useful. Actually, I didn't realize that they would be so good. Actually, very useful for a non-Spider-Man minifig. I like it. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark him down. All right, so that is going to wrap us up for tonight. We have one more week of Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse minifigs, and then we are going to be starting in on the next series, which are all animal costumes. I'm looking forward to those. Those are pretty cute. But we just have 1 and 2 left, Spider-Man and Spider-Punk. I want to thank you guys for coming on out. We had a successful stream. It did not die on us like it did on Wednesday. I do not know why it did on Wednesday, but hopefully things will continue to not die. But we'll see. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out, and I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.